Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tommy here, and I'm a black, queer, Latino man living in Florida. Good morning. I almost wasn't gonna make this video because it isn't perfect. I'm just gonna my lighting sucks, and but that's okay. We're gonna do this because I have something I want to share with you. We're gonna talk a little bit about this whole thing that happened with Laverne Cox. I do not have all the details. I know that Laverne Cox is a prominent figure in the trans community. She's a very beautiful soul. And she was dating someone who was MAGA, which feels like, it feels like a contradiction and a betrayal, sort of, right? It feels horrible in some senses, but it got me thinking about this idea of this. The first thing it gets me thinking about is forgiveness, right? Because I can look at, or I would like to believe that someone like her has a good heart. And I also know what it feels like to be black, trans, and lonely. And sometimes you will date people who you wouldn't normally date because the dating pool for being trans or having someone who will love you out loud is very small, especially for trans women. And then on top of that, you have someone who's so popular, like Mrs. Cox. So you know that if it's gonna go out, everybody's gonna know you went out with a trans girl. And there's still a lot of stigma behind that. There's also this thing that I came up to the conclusion with, that we are living in very weird times. We had an election that was horrific, right? If you really look back at it in a very objective form, we had a man that would definitely hurt us as a community to choose. And then we had a woman who didn't get enough time to state her case, basically was shafted, in my opinion, and then try to vote for her while she had so many complicated issues to try to resolve, right? We had the war in Gaza. There were rumors about her incarcerating black men in California, which we found out were not true, but it was complicated. And we only had those two choices, or not to vote at all, which to me is a vote. Not voting is a vote to me. And I respect more you having to make a hard choice than you not choosing at all. That's just my personal belief. If you don't believe that way, that's cool. I'm not here to judge anyone. What I'm saying is this. We, and I say we, like, not only, the trans community is not the only people to do this, but our leaders, the people who advocate for us, the people who put themselves in the front line for us, they're people, and they're gonna make mistakes, and they're gonna do really stupid things, right? I think what is more important is not the mistake that was made, but how you come back from it. And honestly, she's gonna have to do something more than date someone who's MAGA to really get me to stop liking her. The other thing that I find interesting about this entire situation is, this idea of putting anyone on a pedestal, right? Celebrities, politicians, like people we look up to. Here's the thing, right? This is gonna be like the thing I want you to think about. I remember I was watching a podcast or a show, and the woman was talking about Gandhi and Martin Luther King and all these really prominent leaders in our lifetimes. And I was like, the one thing that she said to me that was so powerful, that I remind myself of, is that all these people were human. And what we tend to do as a society is that someone is super talented, or they have a really good message, or they're advocating. We tend to put that person on a pedestal. And, sometimes we say, oh, they're super talented, or they have some godlike feature. And then we do think that we're doing that because, what they have is godlike feature and they're super talented, and those are the facts. But the fact is that is a way that we absolve ourselves from our own greatness. Oh, they were born that way, or they had a silver spoon in their mouth, and blase, blase, blase. Now you don't have to live up to your full potential. These people in our society that do great things to inspire us to live to our full potential and nothing less. Martin Luther King was not perfect. Gandhi wasn't perfect. Laverne Cox is definitely not going to be perfect. No one's going to be perfect. Obama probably has some skeletons in his closet that he can't. Like, he's not perfect. Michelle's not perfect. Like, all the people that we put up are not perfect. And it's also unfair to do that. I grew up with my dad being a pretty popular person, and I saw sometimes the damage that would do to him. It makes your world so small because be you can't be you can't be normal. You can't do certain things because people are like, well, look what he did. Think about the impact of what happens when someone in any community of stature falls, right? Think about the impact that has and how unfair that is to not only that person, but to us. Everybody that you look up to is just supposed to be an inspiration for you to live at your fullest potential. And that is it. That is all it is. Yes, we have admiration, but when our admiration becomes the pedestal that they fall off, and it's a big fall, and they crack their necks, sometimes I wonder, as if a society, we need to stop doing that. Anyway, that's all I have. I hope that you have an awesome day. I hope that I feel better. And if you watch this video to the end, I appreciate you. Thank you. And I'll see you guys soon.